that first sale or that first website that you're starting or whatever you're starting, when you achieve that first goal that you didn't think was possible, that should be motivation because you're getting it done.
And then you think, if I could do that, then what more can I do?
Exactly.
Right? Like that's everything that every step I take. I'm like, at first I remember this was scary.
Yeah.
Right? Like I remember talking into a microphone was scary.
Yeah.
Right. And I did it, hundreds of times now.
Yeah.
And then, okay, now this isn't scary. So if I could do this, and something right now in my life is scary.
Yeah.
If I could do this, then can't I do that? Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sell mf'er podcast. I'm here with Mateen.
How's it going?
Good,
Thank you for having me.
It's nice having you, man.
Yeah,
like
100%.
You reached out to me, I think, what was it? This week or even last week?
Yeah, it was like a week or two ago.
A week or two, yeah. And we were just talking about how you randomly came across this podcast somehow, and then you're like, you know what? Let me reach out to this guy.
Exactly. It looked dope. Looked like awesome, opportunity.
Yeah, I know. It's always a fun time. Like the reason like I had you on is because like most people send me a DM and they say, put me on the pod. Yeah. It's something you have to do for me.
I give you like a brief experience. Like as if like I told you about myself, why I should be here. Like it was dope.
That's how I reach out to people too. Like if I want somebody to do a podcast, I don't say like, do my podcast and that's it. Like they're not going to do it because of that. Yeah. Like you got to explain like what you're about.
Exactly.
What this is like, check out the page, check out videos, and then like actually be a genuine person.
Yeah.
And every time I get those DMs, like I get,
I'm sure you get a lot.
Tens, if not hundreds of DMs of people saying like, I want to be on the podcast, and that's it.
Put me on.
Like put me on. That's
like,
it.
For what? Who are you?
Yeah. Like I don't even know you, and you're expecting this from me. Like, and I'm not saying like, don't reach out to me, but like, do it in a way where
explain who you are and like why you want to be here.
Yeah, exactly. Put it in a way where it's actually genuine, sincere.
100%.
Like, you're trying to be a person, like you're trying to greet somebody.
Exactly.
I think we lost that through text and stuff. Like people don't know how to talk as much, and
people are really dry. Like people are extremely dry, especially like on text these days. It's like some people just don't even bother to go on their phone. Like there's people that are on their phone all day, just like texting or Snapchatting. And then there's the people where are like either ghosting people for hours or just aren't on the phone or they're just texting and like 2-letter words like hi, okay, like, bye.
Every acronym in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's crazy. It's just, things have definitely changed for sure. Just over time, like society, especially like the generation that we're in, it's just very different in all aspects. You know? It's just a lot has changed, especially after COVID and different topics and viral things that come along. It really inspires a society, like different influencers or different things that come along. It really influences and inspires the society that we're in to kind of be the same.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely has changed over the years. Like like you said, it over the span of I think the past 5 years, it's changed a lot. Like the social media thing has picked up to a place where
for sure
everybody can do something with it. Like it doesn't matter who you are. You could be from Oklahoma and be a farmer and you could be posting on TikTok.
There's people blowing up over the most random things. You can just post something on TikTok and the next morning you wake up and you're an influencer. Like it's crazy, especially with the growth and power of social media, especially now because it's just everything's so new. I just feel like everyone is really taking advantage of the social media scene, and also just we're on it a lot. I feel like a lot of people are addicted. There's a lot of people that are addicted to social media, and I honestly am myself when it comes to certain situations. But I
know it is addicting. I think they designed it that way. Like most of them
marketing strategy
pretty addicting. Like every time you like something, it's gonna bring up something similar to that and try to grab your attention for as long as possible. Like
for sure.
I've noticed that so many times where nowadays, like on TikTok, I barely like anything because I know that it's going to pull me down a rabbit hole if I start to like a similar topic too much.
And it tracks your interest. So more videos will pop up like that.
Yeah, exactly. And so I barely like posts on TikTok unless I really, really like them and I want to see more of that.
Exactly.
Then I like it, because if I start to like a bunch of shit, then it'll start to narrow down the interest and I can't see other stuff. Like I want to see other stuff here,
I know.
But you're not going to show it to me because you think that I like this way more.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's crazy too, because when you're on like a website, or say you want to like buy like, you know, clothing or like tickets or anything like that, say after you're looking at that specific thing, when you're on social media or like Instagram, ads of that topic that you were just looking at will pop up like on your Instagram or TikTok. And it's crazy. Like,
I know people have been, me and my brother have like noticed, us just saying stuff and it'll be on there.
Yeah,
like literally there'll be an ad of like these concert tickets or like whatever.
Or you'll be thinking of something and then you're just scrolling and it's like boom, an advertisement right there.
Yeah.
It's like these social media platforms are tracking what we're thinking, but they also do have access to what we can you know, see on the internet. I think there's an option for when we first sign up for them to like track our website data or whatever,
like history.
Yeah, exactly. So to kind of see our interest, to match that with what's on our social media, to kind of, you know, lead that into more sales or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's, I mean, I could understand why they do it. Like it definitely helps with ads. Like if you know if you like, let's say you own a bakery, right? And you want ads out there in your local area to go to this bakery. You're not going to go to, I don't know, you don't want to market to, you know, people that are lactose intolerant and people who are gluten free. Like those aren't the people that you want coming to your bakery, right?
Exactly.
And so social media allows people to find who likes bakery, like who's posting about bakery stuff, who's liking cookies and stuff like that in this area. And so if you put an ad out there, it's going to find those certain people and show them the ad, like, hey, there's this new bakery in town, go check it out.
You can actually, because I've started, you know, experiencing different advertisement, you know, platforms and things like that. So when you put out ads, you could actually put it out to a certain like interest, like of like a community that's interested in a certain thing. So when you're putting out ads, you can match your ad topic with what other people are interested in. So it'll pop up on you know, their screen. So it's powerful. And, you know, sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't, because, you know, you'll just be scrolling. Sometimes you'll see like a fake ad that'll look like just really like cringe. And then you'll see like those real ads that genuinely pull you in, whether it's like some type of clothing piece that looks really cool, or like game tickets, or just anything like that.
They do really well. Like that's Google and Facebook's main business. Like that's it. Ads. That's crazy. That's how they make literally all their money. It's crazy. Is because they've gotten to the point where they've developed it where it's so effective. Like anybody could go on there, and if you have some type of interesting product or an advertisement, you pay these guys, you know, some people pay them millions of dollars every month. And
it's crazy.
And so that they could get customers and people could find out about products and shit. Like it's gone to a new place. Like before, you would have to reach a lot of people, you would have to like have an ad on in the Super Bowl, right? Like if you wanted to reach millions of people and or even
like
then
a billboard,
or like, put up a billboard or and even then you wouldn't reach your target customer. Like maybe there's a few out of those people, like 5% of those people might be interested. And maybe 1% actually buy it. Right. And then, so with this, it's completely changed where it's so targeted, which has its pros and cons, right? Like for the business, it's good, but for the customer, they're having to give up like literally all their data and of where they've been. Their location and all this shit.
It's crazy. And like you were saying, that whole advertisement thing and social media, it's crazy how this whole advertisement scene has just grown, and how powerful TikTok and other social medias have become, just not to grow your business, but just grow yourself in all different, aspects of, whatever that may be. It's crazy how so many people are becoming famous just off posting a couple clips, or either if you're consistently posting, which is, if you want to be a content creator, that's what you should do. You should be consistent with whatever you do in life. Consistency is key to being successful. So you always need to be consistent. But when it comes to, those social media platforms, it's just crazy. It's like blown up everywhere. It's so powerful. And people really underestimate how powerful it is until they actually post a video and see that their first couple of videos blow up. And once they kind of get used to that video scene, they want to post more and more. And that's what leads in more customers and more people wanting to advertise on their platform. So it's crazy. It's an amazing marketing strategy. And it's honestly kind of cool how social media has really changed, but it's also something that a lot of people aren't used to, from going to actual social media and communicating with friends and posting just about our daily lives, to seeing so many different things on social media, like people flexing or people just out doing obnoxious things, whatever it may be. It's crazy. So.
Yeah, it's definitely has gotten to that point now. Like, I think now it's going to change though. Like something, it's people are on it, people are doing things, but now there's something new coming up. And I think it's like going into the virtual reality AI space. Like, that's the next thing.
Yeah, for sure.
I've seen a shit ton of videos on that recently of AI art. Like, have you seen DALL-E 2 and like by OpenAI and even Google's AI? Like you could type in any image or anything, like a tree in the desert with a red sun,
and it'll pop up.
Like, it'll make it. It'll literally has a database of images, and it will create from like literally anything you want. Like, you could type in, and the more descriptive you get, the more descriptive the image is. Yeah. So you could even do like the same thing that I said, and then also put like in the style of Van Gogh. Yeah. And it'll try to match that into like a Van Gogh painting.
Yeah, that has it also, like stuff like that. It has a lot of stuff to do with like coding and, putting stuff like that into the computer as well. I feel like so many people have gotten way more advanced at coding and editing, and videographers, like so much has advanced, and it's crazy to see.
And the entry for it has gotten lower. Yeah. That's the biggest thing. Like before, it might have cost you thousands of dollars to like buy a camera and then, shoot something, and then you had to buy a laptop and the video editing.
You just got to be creative. Yeah. Like, you got to think of different ideas to make different things work, Now
you could just go on your phone, and like the app is free. Like you could just download the app, and if you have a Wi-Fi connection, you have a camera on your phone.
It's crazy.
Just film anything.
You can film anything, post anything. You can record music on your phone, edit music. Like, you can do anything on your phone. It's crazy how powerful these smartphones have become, because when I was still growing up, the smartphones were pretty similar. They just obviously weren't as like tech. I remember having an iPhone 3, and it was like shaped. 3. It was shaped really weird. It was shaped like really weird. How none of the iPhones are.
It was a curved shape. Yeah, right?
Exactly. It was the curve shaped, and it was all like fat and thick. The charger, it wasn't like the charger we have now. It was like the big charger. Yeah, the big charger. And it was one of my first iPhones. So I was pretty hyped. I was out in like elementary school, and I thought it was like the coolest thing ever, because I was able to download all these games and play all these different games.
I know the YouTube. What was it? The iPod Touch was the first Apple device I got. Yeah. And right as I got it, I downloaded Angry Birds.
iPods are the best.
Yeah, because that was, I think, right as maybe 1 or 2 years since Angry Birds was, or maybe even the same year that Angry Birds released. Yeah. I got the iPod and I downloaded it. I was like playing that as a kid.
Angry Birds was the best, bro. The yellow bird.
Yeah, the yellow bird was my favorite. Tap it and then
it'd go all like fast and blow up and everything. And then Temple Run was an OG too.
I know. Yeah, those people don't know how to make games nowadays. It seems like,
bro,
there's so many good games.
It's just like Fortnite, Call of Duty, like sports games. It's so dry. You know? And
before it was Jetpack Joyride, Subway Surfer.
Yeah.
There was, let's see, Temple Run, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
There was
Clash of Clans.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember playing that as a kid. And
I'd have to upgrade my town hall and wait like days for like upgrades.
I played that game for a good like 5 years.
Same, bro.
5 or 6 years of playing that.
And then my patience just couldn't take it anymore because I had to upgrade too much. Wait 12 days for your town hall to upgrade. And I was like, 12 days, man.
But in the beginning, you would do it. Like you games aren't like that anymore.
No.
It's just short term.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I enjoyed playing that game, is because it was challenging enough to where you wanted to do it, but it wasn't too challenging where you knew like it's impossible to level up, right? Yeah. So it was challenging enough. And then you kept on building, you know, like your base and stuff. And you started off with like little to no like defense.
And you just build your way up.
Yeah, you build your way up. You
build your character, your base. And
you attack and you keep on growing. And it takes literally months to years to build a good base. Like literally the whole time span, especially if you don't buy gems and stuff, you don't buy anything. Like I never buyed anything on the game. I just kept on grinding at it. And eventually I got to like, I think Town Hall 9, after
I got pretty high too.
9 or 10. And then they just kept on adding more town halls though.
Yeah.
Like it stopped at 12 and then they went to like 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm like, I'm never going to get there, bro. Like,
and then they made Clash Royale, the second one, where it's like, you like attack with all the different characters.
Yeah, that was a good game too.
It's crazy. And I mean, video games,
they're one of the best. They're one of the best mobile game
sure. They were
creators.
The biggest too. I think they had a couple other games. It was like Boom Beach or something. It wasn't as big, but
I remember that.
Yeah, it was a bunch. All those games were OGs. Those are the best, man. That was like when gaming was at one of its peaks for sure. Other than like when quarantine, everyone started gaming pretty big. But
I think right now it's at kind of a recession state in gaming. Like people aren't taking enough risks, and it's showing. Like people are doing the same things. Like I saw a video of the new like GTA 6. Somebody like had a I don't even know what like just a video of it, like screen recorded.
They leaked hours of the new GTA on Twitter. I saw that was crazy. My brother showed me some clips, and I thought it was just a clip, but I guess it was the same hacker that hacked into Uber too, and he took control of Uber. And I remember like the Uber stock like plummeted that day.
Damn. But these guys can literally hack into anything.
It's crazy. Jesus. Yeah, my brother showed me hours of the new GTA. Of that being like hacked. Like, how does that even happen?
I don't know. Like, I would not know where to start. Like, if you tell me to hack into like somewhere, where the hell do I go? Like, I don't have any software. Like, what does it take?
I don't even know how they do that stuff, bro. So, like I was saying, that like society these days is so powerful, whether it's social media or like influencers or hackers or just anything like different, like job positions. It's just has become a lot more powerful and like substantial these days. It's crazy.
Yeah, like anybody could do anything basically. And
some people get lazy. Like some people are too busy upgrading their character in their video game and upgrading their own base when they can be out, making and upgrading their own business or working on themselves. They're too busy focused on their game, other than being focused on themselves and working on themselves as a, human being or working on something they want to do. They just too busy focused on the outside world and not the inside world. They're not focused on themselves. They're focused on a whole different dimension of video games. It's like crazy.
Yeah, not to say that you shouldn't play video games.
I love video games. I play it all the time.
But there's priorities, and working on yourself should also be a part of that.
For sure.
What you do, because without that, like it's a stressful, lonely path of despair. Without working on yourself.
They're also professional gamers too. I don't know if you're into like that esports scene, but It was something I used to be into when I was a lot younger too, and I started when I played a lot more video games. But there's like professional gamers that make like hundreds of thousands of dollars or like pretty decent money off like different tournaments that they play, and it's dope. Like there's a whole like competitive video game scene of like an audience and teams that represent like their city or whatever. So it's dope. But you know, I just think that people really just need to stick to whatever they want to be focused on, you know, not just other things. Always, you know, have that discipline and mindset to just wake up each and every single morning, have that routine and that plan to just get something done or complete your certain task. And as long as you can do that, as long as you can go make some money, go complete that certain task, go work out, as long as you can do that, you'll be perfect each and every single day. You'll see yourself growing in all different aspects and it'll be huge.
Yeah. It starts with the simplest thing, really. Like, if you want to improve your health, eat an apple a day. Yeah. Like literally, it doesn't have to be drastic. It could start with the most simplest thing.
Start eating healthy
and
cut out the hot Cheetos and Takis.
Yeah, I know. And it literally starts with the most simplest parts, and eventually you'll see that one habit, one positive habit leads to another positive habit, leads to another thing, and you start going in a different direction.
Yeah.
And every single thing in my life that's ever been prosperous or ever been something that I enjoy doing and that's been rewarding in the present moment has come from me making a decision years ago to step in the right direction.
Exactly. That's why hard work is always worth it. Hard work always pays off. And that's why you should always put your mind to do something and complete something every day. You know, whether you have a dream, like we were like saying earlier, just never give up on that dream, because over time and as you continue to work and put in that effort, you'll start to see results, and that results will motivate you to go, you know, farther and farther and keep going harder to do whatever you're doing. You know, once you see certain results or reach a goal that you're looking to reach, that'll motivate you and give you the state of mind that you can do it and this can work, and you can continue to do it to make sure it could work full time for you and, you know, completely. So
yeah, and yeah, like you said, continuous effort, constantly, like that's the main factor in success and whether things work out is the consistency in the work you do. If I mean, you could go to the gym for a week and you won't see any result, right? Like
exactly.
It doesn't,
and people will get frustrated with that, and
that's fine. Like that's a learning experience, right? Like if you don't see the results, just know that that's normal. Like that if you don't see results right away, just because society, I think, like you said, people have gotten. We talked about TikTok and social media.
Yeah,
people have gotten used to wanting things right away. Right. Like if they post something, they want to have followers right away and they want likes right away and they want a certain, response right away. But life doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like results right away. It takes months, if not years, to develop quality results and things that you want to have in your life. It never works overnight. Like ask any successful person in any industry, and if they're at the top of their game, they'll tell you over and over again that this took me years, a lot of failure, of despair, of growth to get to the place that I'm at. Like you see people now, and you want whatever they have. You want the big house, you want the money, whatever, the fame, all that shit. But you look at them now and you think that it happened right away. Yeah. And if you get to know them or you get to know their story, they'll tell you over and over again, it took many years of striving and of growing, because nothing happens overnight. Nothing.
Exactly. That's how a lot of the most like successful people in the world are. Like Michael Jordan, he didn't he like not make it on his high school basketball team like for his first
he got cut like sophomore year.
Yeah.
And that really like drove him to practice more, and then he had a growth spurt that year. Like
That's crazy.
Grew to like 6'3" or something around there.
Yeah, and Elon Musk and a lot of like the bigger guys, just a lot of the more successful people, they didn't grow overnight or become like millionaires, billionaires overnight. They put all of that effort and work and time together, and they put those small pieces together to make it one whole big thing and make them into the person they are today.
Yeah.
So that's what makes them so successful, because even when they're at the position they're at now, they're still working hours a day. Like they're still putting in that work and going to work, even though they're making hundreds of thousands, millions a day. They're still, putting in that work and going to their job and working,
Yeah, because they actually love doing it.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly. There's no other way I think that you could achieve that level of success if you don't love it or become obsessed by it. Because
that's why you should always love whatever you do or you decide to do.
Like there's a pull that it has on you. And I know we talked about the trading and stuff for you. I could tell like you're passionate about it. The only reason you did it and the only reason you continue to do it is because you enjoy it.
Yeah.
If it's not something you enjoy, you would probably quit the first time you failed.
For sure.
And never done it again.
Yeah.
Because it was just you didn't like it. And so one of the hardest parts is finding what you like. It takes a lot of trial and error. It takes, soul searching and looking at other people, trying new things, being inspired from movies and music and all aspects of life. But once you find that thing, once you find something, don't let go of that, because that's what's going to make your life full of exciting moments and things that are worthwhile. Because, I look back in the past 3 years and the decision to do this podcast or the decision to like create this brand or the decision to like live my life this way.
Yeah.
I would do that 1 million times over, because even though it was hard, like the happiness I get from it is priceless.
Especially priceless when you see the progress too.
It's not even about that. It's just like the happiness I get from doing it. Like there's something loving and just a feeling, right? Like I remember a time where I didn't have that. When you have no purpose, like I know you could probably
for sure
relate to that, where you don't know what you're doing with your life, right?
Yeah.
And
you're
stuck. It feels stuck. Like that's the best way to put it. You're stuck. Your mind is just a blob. Like it has no, you have all this energy, but yet you're not putting it towards something.
Yeah.
And it's the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah.
And as soon as I felt this, like I felt something that like, damn, this really excites me and I love doing it. Like it doesn't even matter if I get paid to do it. Like I'll do it for free because I love it that much. And that's what brought me to a place where I really had an enlightened moment where I was like, okay, this is how you're supposed to live life.
Yeah.
Like it's not meant to be like you're stuck all the time.
Exactly.
There's more to life. Like this side exists.
You break out of that, the stage you're in, that position you're in, to go and do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like you were saying earlier, the days that you don't want to wake up or do something, like I have mornings all the time because I have to wake up, quite early, usually around 6 a.m. My first alarms go from all the way at 5. They go from 5 a.m. all the way to 6 because I need to like wake myself up. So when I get up, there are so many mornings where I'm just so tired and I don't want to get up. But usually those days where I force myself to get up when I don't want to, those become my best days because I use the discipline that I have each and every single day, the motivation. I like to always think of as discipline as one of the most powerful things that you could use and kind of stick with you on your daily life. You need to have discipline in everything you do. But the days of when I don't want to do something and when I force myself to get up and
what are the thoughts that you think, like when when you don't want to get up, what's going through your mind?
So basically,
what do you think of?
Yeah, especially, so I have a whole team, my educational trading team that I trade with each and every single morning.
Mm-hmm.
So I go live on a call, we're based on Discord. So I go live in my Discord call, and people will just pop in and out, but I'm usually always live right at market open at around 6:30. But when I wake up, I'm like, I need to help my team. I need to trade for myself. I can't be lazy. Like, I know I'm going to regret this.
Mm-hmm.
This extra amount of sleep isn't going to ruin my day or bring me down or ruin the daily schedule or routine that I usually do. I just need to force myself up, go hop in the shower, and then get ready for my day. But I always like to really hold myself accountable for helping my clients and my team each and every single morning, because I feel as the main person that runs it, because I have staff members that help me, different and they have different positions, but I feel as if a lot of people rely on me in the server, and when they come to my server to trade, they're relying on me to be there because it's my server, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're relying on me to be there.
It's responsibility, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Responsible to do it.
Like sometimes, because it's only been like 1 or 2 days where I haven't gotten to the call because I've genuinely been busy, and I update them before. But when I'm not there, like people will like at me and be like, hey, like I have a question. Can you help me out? This and that. Can we hop in a call? So I do a lot of different work for when it comes to helping out my team. And I also have other clients that I mentor where we hop in calls and just go over a bunch of different review. And then of course I have just my team that I trade with each and every single day. So it's not a team. It's more of a trading family. We really build that bond to not just be interested in the stock market. We're all just homies in a family that, we just like to chill, and we'll have like calls where we'll just be like chatting it up about a whole bunch of different things. So it's awesome. And just to see my traders' growth going from not being experienced in the stock market at all to making hundreds to even thousands their first weeks is just crazy to me, especially when they come to me and say, hey, like, you've really made a change in like my career. And a lot of my audience is like younger people that are trying to get into the stock market, but there are also older people, but people will really come to me, and I'm still starting off. So
yeah, I know this kid's only 18 years old.
I'm still starting off because we're fairly new, but
and you said you got into it a few years before, but like you could legally only get into it at 18, right?
So I would be under my parents' account. So when I first told my parents about it, they were like, I was like a young 16-year-old kid, and I'm like, Mom, Dad, I think I went up to my dad first, and I was like, because you need to use their social, and I'm like, Dad, can I have your social? He's like, what? And I'm like, I explained to him, because he's not into the stock market much, so I explained to him, and obviously he knew of it, and he thought it was a really good idea, and he helped me out. Both of my parents have been super supportive about my trading career and the business that I'm doing right now. So they've been super supportive. I've used their information for a lot of different things when I
started out.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I say that in a good way, like I don't mean like bad way, but
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. Like
exactly.
Sometimes, like it's the information as kids now. Yeah, I could like the kids now probably know more at 5 years old than people than me probably at 10 years old.
Yeah, it's
right.
Crazy.
Like they're just on this YouTube thing, or like they're on videos.
The society has just changed so much, and social media plays a really big part in that, because every day we're on social media and we're scrolling through, we're swiping through, and we're seeing different people living different lives and living different type of lifestyles, and that really influence us and kind of puts us in a mental state to, hey, I want to do this, like I want to be like that person.
Yeah, it inspires you.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they're called influencers too, but a lot of the influencers just dance. They're not influencers, but
I mean, I think everything should exist, right? Like if people want to do that, like dancing, to each their own. Like I'm not gonna say that it's bad. I personally don't watch it. I don't follow those people, but it's there for those who like it. It's there to people who like business, there's business stuff. There's to people who like sports, there's sports stuff. Yeah. Like let everything exist, let everything be. And that's one of the things that I don't like about some of the platforms and what they're doing is like the whole cancel culture thing of basically taking away people's platform of just something that they wanted to say. Like they had an opinion, like Andrew Tate, and one of the.
What do you think about Andrew Tate?
He's a polarizing figure, and you know, there's some things that most of the things that he says I agree with.
For sure.
Some things I don't agree with him, but like just because you don't agree with him doesn't mean that he's a bad person.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that he shouldn't be allowed to go on Instagram and,
he just
stuff
got
like that.
Completely wiped off
the
like
internet.
Socials.
And so, yeah, like stuff like that. You can't just have people take away that platform, because what if somebody that enjoyed it, what if they wanted to watch it? Like that you have to cater to everybody, not just some people, just because they like the advertisers want this and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's a weird time, you know, like
for sure
to be able to do content, and it's all new too. Like they're figuring it out. Like I think I was watching Mark Zuckerberg on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah.
And he, you know, over the span of 20 years, like you start to see that there's billions of people on that platform, and how can you cater to literally everyone? It's impossible.
Yeah.
Like billions of people that all have different interests, that all have different needs. Yeah. And around the world, different cultures, and to cater to everyone, it's fucking impossible. Yeah. And so that's what they're dealt with is trying to do that. And he was saying, we had no idea that it would get to this big. Like that was not their intention. Yeah. They just started at Harvard in their college dorm and just did it for the school. Like that's it. That's all they thought.
That's crazy.
And eventually it got so big that they're like, fuck, now the whole world uses this. Yeah. Like now we have Instagram and WhatsApp and all this stuff. Like how the fuck did this happen? Right?
I wonder if that was TikTok's plan to be as big as they are now. Like when
I don't
they first
know who
came
runs
out.
TikTok.
Because I think they might have something to do with Musical.ly. Remember Musical.ly? Like back a couple of years ago, it was like basically like the same thing as TikTok, but I remember the app got taken down, and then a couple of years later, TikTok came up. So,
can you check that camera? By the way, yeah. Sorry, just want to double check. Okay.
Is the other one good?
Yeah, it's good. But yeah, you were saying TikTok, Musical.ly.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think TikTok and Musical.ly were like linked together, but I remember Musical.ly always being pretty big. Like when it came to like influencers and stuff like that. And it was still the same concept, doing like dance videos and stuff like that, or lip syncing. But
yeah, now it's TikTok's. That's a side of TikTok, but that's not the only thing. In the beginning, it was like that's all you saw was like dance videos and
TikTok's
shit.
Everything.
Now I have more like photography, like maybe because I liked that stuff. Like I have like videographers, like because that's what I'm interested in. So I have like those type of people that make dope videos, and it's cars and shit like that. So I don't know. There's different sides to it. Now I think that more people are on it.
It's also extremely beneficial for like networking and finding like business ideas and partners, finding different opportunities. Like it's just crazy how much like social media and the internet has like evolved to become more beneficial to our daily lives.
Yeah, it definitely has. Yeah. Like it helps me a shit ton, like mostly for education purposes.
Like I contacted you through social media.
Through social media.
If I didn't know you, like this wouldn't have been like a thing, you know?
Exactly. And then, and the learning aspect has been crazy. Like not only for those like kids that I mentioned, like it's personally for me too, through YouTube, I've learned literally 10 times more than school.
It's bro. It's crazy. YouTube and the internet has everything that you need to learn. And obviously there are going to be some sources and some videos that are going to be like too confusing or not as beneficial to others. But it's crazy the education that you can gain from just going on your phone or computer. Yeah. It's crazy. That's how I got to the position I am in today. I just learned as much as I could online and through other people, and by, you know, gaining different experiences and opportunities.
Yeah, trial and error.
Yeah, exactly.
All it is. Like this is how I use YouTube basically, like especially for business. If I want to create you know, like some post on Instagram or some video, right? I just go on YouTube and type in exactly like how to create a transition effect, and I go watch the video, and then there's like a full tutorial in depth on how to do it, and then I just go and copy like, okay, this is good, and then through the tutorial I'm like inspired by another idea, like, oh, I can make it this way, and then now I make it my own thing, and eventually you just now you develop the new skill of now you know that one thing.
It's crazy.
And that's how it develops. Like anything you want to learn how to cook, you want to learn how to ski and snowboard,
or tie a tie.
Yeah, tie a tie. That's probably I think that's the biggest search. Like if you put how to, that's the first one.
Yeah,
how to.
I remember I'd always use those videos. I probably still could use them because I don't really know how to tie a tie.
I think I've watched at least 10 videos on it, and I like do it, and then I could do it that time, I did it, right? Like, but then I need it again for the next time because I don't do it every day. Right? I think it's the repetition of it. Yeah, like everything. If you do it enough, you'll be able to tie a tie. But like, I just don't need a tie that much.
Yeah, like, it's every couple of years throwing a tie.
Yeah,
go to a wedding or something.
It's crazy how before, like in the 50s and 40s, people would wear ties
every day.
Like it didn't even matter. Like you could be, 15 years old, you'd still wear a tie, like have a jacket and stuff.
Yeah, or people like overseas, like UK and stuff like that. Like UK members, or not UK, like people out in London, like when they go to middle school and high school, they have to wear full like uniforms, suit and ties and everything. It's crazy, and like they're used to wearing that every single day.
Every day. Yeah, I would not be able to do that. Yeah, there's something. Now we had to wear uniforms in middle school. Yeah, for the middle school we went to, and I still like it. It was good in some aspects. You don't have to think about what you're gonna wear, right? Like you just
everyone
pick out.
Matched. I feel like it was cool, but it was also like you wanted to wear your own thing, but they really weren't like that bad. Like there were different colors we could wear.
Yeah, polo.
Yeah,
polo
the polos
shirt.
were clean too. Like, they were fresh.
They had the logo on it and shit.
We could wear like any hoodie we want to.
Yeah,
I don't know, like if it was the same for you, but we could just throw on any hoodie, and then the pants. They were pretty chill about like the pants policy, but they just wanted like blue pants, or khaki. I don't think khakis were allowed, but shorts. Yeah, it was chill, but. It was also good because, you know, there's a lot of people that, you know, like bully and stuff like that. So especially like in middle school, that's when bullying comes to its prime, and kids start really getting into a lot of drama and stuff like that. So, you know, it was good. So
I know
there weren't
it
people
comes from
like
ignorance,
judging.
man. Like that.
Yeah.
That's I don't think anybody that has good intentions and that loves people would ever bully. Like it's just insecurity of something that some other person might have told them, and now they believe it, and they're showing it off onto putting it onto other people.
It's just the influence of others. Yeah, it's crazy.
And as kids, it's hard to be conscious of it. Like as an adult, you could, I don't know. For me, as a kid, I was never into that kind of group. Like I was never doing bad things, but most kids are just like completely ignorant to it. It's monkey see monkey do. Like they saw something in a movie and they just fucking do it. They think it's fun. Like and they're not deciding on their own, like is this something that I should do? Like is it something I want to do, or is it because somebody told me to do it, like, and that's why I'm doing it? You never
know what, like especially whoever you're like talking to or like doing whatever you're doing, you never know what they could be going through, like at home or just in their personal, like physical, mental lives. Like you never know what they're dealing with behind who they really are at school, so it's crazy. That's why I always like to treat everyone equal and, as cool and nice as possible, be like friendly and, homies with everyone. 'Cause it's always cool just to learn a bit about everyone and, have different opportunities and experiences to have different friends and go out to different places and do different things. But it's just like people are weird, man.
It's different. Yeah. Like, again, like all things exist. And when there's loving people, there's also hateful people. Yeah. It's just how the universe works. And
Crazy.
like, yeah, for the longest time as a kid, I never like had, this might sound crazy, like I never saw people that like worked at, you know, a restaurant or something as people. Like it was just like, oh, this person's a waiter. Like I just saw them as a waiter, and not that they had a life and they had friends, and that
I get that
they
exactly.
didn't want to like actually do this job because they're like, they just had to do it for the money or whatever, and they're trying their best to like, you know, do a good job. And so now, like you know, I think that was maybe 10 years old, like I was thinking that way, and then something clicked. I don't remember when, but after that moment I realized like, yeah, it's not just them being a waiter, like they have this whole life, like they have a family.
It's crazy.
And then you start to feel empathy. Like if people do something wrong, don't just be mad at people. Like it's people make mistakes and things you could learn from, and that, you know, it's more of a humane way of looking like at people, instead of putting titles on them and making them a statistic. You know, have some empathy.
Yeah, especially if you put yourself in their position, you know, if you ever just work like a regular job like that, like you could understand that tasks or days could be stressful. Like you don't want to go into certain days, or you'll be working like long hours. Like my buddy that was supposed to be here, he works like almost every single day of the week, and he's working hours, like closing shifts, and like it's crazy because
he said he works at Olive Garden.
And he's a waiter too. He's like a server. He's like, the breads. I remember I went one time and he hooked it up with breadsticks and the salad, and
I know that's a good job for like young kids because
he grinds, because he makes good money in tips. So
and it's like free food, you know, so you don't have to pay for food at all.
No, he's always every day. It's like I respect it too, because that stuff is not easy. It's not easy. I remember when I used to work at TJ Maxx, I worked there for a little under a year, but the only things I would really do was I started just greeting people at the front, and then I moved up to the register, just kind of, you know, checking people out and being just regular tasks. And over time, it just wasn't my thing. I knew I really wanted to start taking stock seriously, and
I think the biggest realization is you could do more. Like literally that's the biggest thing. Like you're doing like 2 tasks a day, 3 tasks, like you're doing it over and over again, and you realize, what the fuck am I doing? Right? Like I could do much more than this.
That's why you should have a plan, like a routine every day, whether you're writing it in your notes or paper or a whiteboard or like an organized app or whatever. Write down your routines, like when you like wake up this time, go eat breakfast this time, run at this time, work at this time, read at this time, hang out with friends at this time. If you complete all of those tasks at like around those certain time like frames, you'll feel so much better and feel so much more accomplished, and you'll want to do that every single day because you want to have that feeling of being accomplishedness and like have like success, you know? So
and I think tying that in with the like certain jobs, like with the accomplishment is so low in some jobs, like you don't feel accomplished every day because the tasks seem so meaningless, right? Like if you're just fucking, I don't know, like putting clothes on the racks and shit.
I'd go into my shifts and I'd stand at the same spot for hours and I'd say, hi, welcome, and then bye, like have a good day. That's it. That's it. Literally for hours.
Like a robot could do that.
Yeah.
Right? Like you could put a sign up there.
They have like, there we go. Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, just have like literally like a robot at the front or something. Yeah, literally, bro, for hours I'd just be standing there. And sometimes I'd like clean carts when people would bring them to me. But it's crazy, especially when you get that actual experience and you get that working experience or that feel, you know that it's not the easiest, or it's not most rewarding when it comes to like getting paid. Like obviously you're gonna get paid, but like sometimes you'll be looking at your paycheck, you're like, what is this, man? Like come on, like I want more. But yeah, I mean it was obviously a really cool experience. It was something I always wanted to do, was just work like a regular job. I don't plan on going back anytime soon. I mean, it's really dope, and I think that I give props to everyone that can do it each and every single day to work, you know, those amount of hours and put in that time and work.
Because most people don't have a choice. Like
it's a grind.
They need to do it. And
it's crazy. Like,
it definitely shows you like the resilience that one can develop, right? Like even if it sucks, just fucking do it. Cause you know that if I put it again, like the consistency factor, if I do it consistently, hopefully, and not just hopefully, like I know that I could do something better. Yeah. Like in the process of finding what you don't like, you kind of find what you like. Yeah. Right. Exactly. Like, you know, that working this job or doing anything, like if you don't like it, that gets you closer to what you do like. Yeah. And you realize, okay, fuck this. Let me do this thing now, because I enjoy it more. Yeah. And you shift your energy onto that, and now you're doing something that you enjoy. Yeah. But the only way you could find that thing is if you did something you don't like, or you felt so miserable that you wanted to change.
That's why a lot of people put themselves in uncomfortable situations and wrong places at the wrong times, and uncomfortable situations can definitely be beneficial to you because you learn from being uncomfortable. You learn from being in uncomfortable positions and being in certain, you know, spots. You learn from losing. You learn from taking those losses or not wanting to give up. Like, you learn from the bad things. You learn from
the failures,
from failing. So that should just be the motivation to just keep on going, because you're going to fail. Everyone fails. That's completely normal, but you have to take that fail and loss as something to take into the next day or next weeks to go even 30, 50, 1 million times harder.
It's the reaction that matters. Yeah. Like I forget who tells this story, but like, I always remind myself of this, you know, concept is there could be two people that have, you know, that live in the exact same neighborhood, that go to the exact same school, that did all these things the exact same way. And, you know, in this example, they just calculate, you know, differences by money, because it's easy to tell whether, you know, there's a difference. So like, one person makes, you know, $500,000 a year and another person makes $80,000 a year. Yeah. But they went to the same school. They did the same things. They had the same degree, the same experiences. They might even work at the same company. Yeah. But why is there a difference? It's because what that person did, what those people did, they reacted differently to the situations they were in. Yeah. That's all it is you can have the same circumstances, but it's how you react to the circumstances that matters.
And how you put in that work and effort and responsibility.
Exactly. Like
be hold accountable.
The reaction and the change happens. Like, one of my favorite speakers, he said, Jim Rohn, he said, the only two ways people change is through inspiration or desperation. Yeah. And I think that's so powerful, because there have been times where I look back, I'm like, yeah, that's the only times I've changed, is when either I'm inspired by something in a positive way where it's just overfilled me with this idea to do it, or if I'm just desperate, you know, like there has to be something, like I'm about to fucking hit rock bottom. If I don't change, what's gonna, like, it's done, right?
That's where discipline comes in too. Yeah. You gotta have that discipline to just do it every day. Like I was saying earlier, and, you know, motivation and discipline are two complete different things. Obviously, they're great things that help you out, but discipline is something that you do every day. You wake up and you do it, you complete your task, you're disciplined to do it and complete it. When you have motivation, you have to motivate or have someone else motivate you, or have yourself motivate you to try and complete that task, compared to when you're disciplined, you're completing that task and getting it done. To where if you're motivated, you have to be motivated to complete it, you know, and that's only if you can complete it, if you're motivated. Yeah. And a lot of the people really just don't use, you know, their discipline or motivation to their advantage. So
Yeah, to me, motivation is not just like you don't just put on a video and then that's it. Like
it's more than that.
It's more than that. Like in order to get to a place where you're like not always motivated, but you're just like kind of in a place where you have a clear path, like where it's so clear that it pulls you that way. And that's what, you know, motivation is to me, is not just a video that I watch for, 5 minutes and then for 5 minutes I'm extremely motivated and I want to do something, but then the next 5 minutes I'm like sitting on the couch again. You know, motivation is a lifestyle. Like it's a constant development of oneself to go a certain direction. And to me, the only way to get to that point is, like you said, you had to motivate yourself. Like that, you can't rely on other people to do it for you every time. You have
to do it yourself. You have to do everything yourself. It's all in here. You know, at the end of the day, it's all in your mental. It's all in your head. It's all how you approach every situation, every day, and every objective.
They're good. Like you said, there are going to be times where you don't want to do it, but just because you don't want to do it, put in the thoughts that make you want to do it. Right? Like as human beings, we have that. We have that one thing that I don't think any other animal has, any other species has, is if you have some type of thought that does not, or you just don't feel good, you could put in another thought. You could choose something else. And that's how I think both of us have gone to a place of happiness and fulfillment, is because we've had bad days and we continue to have bad days and bad moments. Like it'll happen for the rest of my life, but it's what I do about it in those moments. I put thoughts that, like, even if I'm starting to think negative, I'm like, okay, let me, I heard this story one time I think of a story I listened to, and I remind myself that in this moment, if you could only understand that what you're going through is just part of the seasons, part of the cycle, that like the winter is going to come, but right after winter is spring. And that's going to happen for the rest of your life. It's just you're going to have to go through the winters. So this is part of it. And nothing comes here to stay. Everything passes. Even the good moments. You're going to be at your highest peak,
comes and goes,
and it will go. It will go, and you might go somewhere way below. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but I guess it did. And you'll go below it, and it'll suck. But guess what? That's gonna pass too. And everything just flows and passes.
Because I remember when I was young, my mom always told me to always stay positive and approach everything in life to just always stay positive, no matter what. Have that positive mindset and mentality, and that's always stuck with me ever just growing up. Just especially from having experience in dealing with negative situations and using that positivity to block it out and kind of think of a different situation or positive way I could approach the situation to kind of block out the negativity. Whether even if it's the worst thing in the world, I still try to have that positive mindset somewhere in my mind, just to kind of tell myself and know that it's gonna be fine. Like it's gonna be chill. So always stay positive. Like you were saying, you're gonna have your bad days, but when you do have your bad days and your bad moments, you got to use that positivity and that mentality to block it and use it as a weapon to be even stronger.
And what I've learned is to get rid of the negativity, it's not saying to yourself, I need to get rid of it, because what you put your attention on grows, basically. And if you say, I want to get rid of negativity in my life, you're consciously telling your mind that negativity exists. And it's like it's kind of weird how the universe works. It's everything that you think of is like a seed. Right? Like a seed, and every thought that you think is a seed that will get planted in your mind. It's every thought you think, the seed gets planted, and the more you think about it, the more it'll grow.
Yeah.
And so if you keep on thinking that there's a problem and you focus on, I need to get rid of this problem, that's going to make the problem grow even more.
Yeah.
You thinking that you need to get rid of it is causing it to increase.
Yeah.
The only way, and this is through a lot of trial and error that I learned, is the only way to get rid of the negativity is to only focus on the positivity. Like that's the only way that I've up until now, that's the only thing that's worked for me, is instead of trying to get rid of it, let me just focus on this new thing, and automatically by itself, the negativity reduces.
I've learned that from experience too, bro. Like multiple different situations and experiences, whether it's been the worst thing in the world or the worst heartbreak in the world or the worst, thing in the world. I just always use that positivity or focus
change
and
the
shift,
perspective.
my perspective and mindset to a good and a better. And I think of why that happened, and just move on. Why everything else in life happens for a reason, and everything is just beneficial to you for a reason.
Yeah, it's reminders, right? Like that's why I listen to certain speakers and listen to tapes and stuff, because I want the mindset so that it doesn't matter what position I'm in, what the circumstances are. I could always remind myself that, like, it stays grounded.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. Like, I think so many people will get pushed off where they want to go because they don't know how to deal with the negative stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that successful people don't deal with negative things. It's just that they've developed basically like a force field around it.
Yeah. How to deal with it.
It doesn't matter. Like there's an anchor.
Yeah.
I think The Rock, he calls it like this, like the mindset and his environment is like his anchor.
Yeah.
That it doesn't matter what's going around outside. I'm always anchored to this thing, this belief, and I know who I am, and it's not veering off course whatsoever.
Sure. Yeah. It's powerful always to have with you, for sure.
Yeah. That's been a huge, kind of enlightenment and thought process that I've developed is knowing that it doesn't matter the outside.
Yeah.
The outside doesn't matter. The outside happens to everybody, right?
Yeah.
Like life happens to everybody. Everybody has problems. Everybody has failures. Everybody goes through things, has heartbreaks, has lows, has ups. Everybody has that.
You got to use it to make yourself stronger and a better person.
Mm-hmm. And if everybody has it and you don't want to be the same as everybody, then don't change everybody. Change you. Yeah. Change yourself. Be changed. Be the person. Be the person that changes themselves first. And if you change yourself, I think everything else falls in line after that. Like I tried to change. For a long time, I tried to change. Where things around me, like if I wanted this friend to be more, responsive in text or whatever, like I'm telling this person, oh, you got to change this. You got to change this. Yeah. And guess what? They never change, because that's not how people change. People change because they themselves want to change, because intrinsically. Yeah. And so it's not my responsibility to change you. It's not my responsibility to change anybody else. The only responsibility and my full responsibility is to change myself to wherever I want to be. Yeah.
As well as everyone else. It's all focused on yourself, all within. Yourself is the most powerful weapon and tool you could ever take advantage of and use, and just see yourself grow too. Especially that's one of the best things, is seeing progress and grow. Going back to the motivation thing, it's that happiness and fulfillment for what you want to do and progress should be motivation. That first sale or that first website that you're starting or whatever you're starting, when you achieve that first goal that you didn't think was possible, that should be motivation, because you're getting it done.
And then you think, if I could do that, then what more can I do?
Exactly.
Right? Like that's everything that every step I take. I'm like, at first I remember this was scary. Yeah. Right? Like I remember talking into a microphone was scary. Yeah. Right. And I did it, hundreds of times now. Yeah. And then okay, now this isn't scary. So if I could do this, and something right now in my life is scary. Yeah. If I could do this, then can't I do that?
How many episodes are you at right now?
Over 140.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. So it's, I never look at the episode number. Like I just see it because I upload the episode, and that's it. Like
grind.
Yeah, like that's the only reason I see it.
That's so many people met like different opportunities though too.
Yeah, like, you just awesome. Don't. I never knew that it would take me down this path. Like to meet the people that I've met and to develop the skills that I've developed.
Yeah,
had no idea, and I think the vision for it was in the beginning was just to do something with my life, right? Like that's like something had to get done, right? Something that I enjoy. And then it was scary. It was, I was nervous and I had doubts, I had fears, and I got through that. And it made me a better person. It made me a more fulfilled and happy person because I took that risk. But it also put me in a position where I know that if other things in my life that are hard now, that seem like it's impossible, that seem like it's difficult, if it's hard now, I remind myself like 3 years ago, that 18-year-old kid thought this was hard. Yeah. And so if I could do that at 18, then why not do something else? Like it could always get better. Yeah. You know,
always grow in every single aspect, like as you as a person, your business, whatever you're trying to do, it can always grow over time, over the amount of effort and work you put in, which is always so key. That work that you put in and the motivation and desire for wanting to do it is really what matters. Because if you're just laying around and you're doing it because someone else told you to do it, or you're just doing it for something on the side, you're not going to have your full attention to it. You need to have your full attention and your full
what you interest. Give to it is exactly what's going to get back to you.
Exactly. Just like everything else in life, how you treat someone else is how they're going to treat you,
Yeah. It all ties into one thing. Like I think we talked about it before, like one habit amplifies another habit. Yeah. And one skill set does the same. Like everything compounds, it seems like. And the more I've gotten to live this life, 21 years now, the time goes by faster, but it also seems like what I'm learning is starting to like show results. Sure. And also it's gotten to a point where I'm getting good at shit. Yeah. Like I see the skills that I started at, 18 or 16 years old. Now I look back and I'm like, damn, I fucking sucked at that, and now I'm getting, better. And I know that I can never be the best, right? Like I can never be perfect. Yeah. I could always get better. Even now, 5 years from now, I'll think, I sucked back then, but it's continuously evolving to be a better person, and whatever that direction is, right? Like to some people, it might be, just happiness. To some people, it's the millions of dollars. To some people, it's a good life with their family. Like whatever that path is for you, just know that it's more than possible. It's actually a guarantee as long as you believe that it is.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. No, most definitely. That's why you should always just, like you were saying, just always just get it done, just have that mindset to just wake up every day and just do it,
Mm-hmm. Just Nike. Just Nike. Literally. That brand has fucking changed so many lives.
Oh yeah. It's gone through so many different stages too. Like I remember everyone, there was like a stage where everyone would wear like neon Nike. Do you remember that? Like everyone would wear like neon Nike clothes, but then like Nike has just blown up like shoe wise and clothing wise, brand wise.
And I think it's because they've evolved. Like they weren't in the beginning. They were the trainer shoe, and people used them for like running and going to the gym or whatever. And then they kind of got into the fashion game, right? Like they got into like collabing with Supreme and artists like Kanye and Drake and all this stuff. And they got into this new space because they changed, they evolved. Yeah. And that's why they're here today, is because they took risks.
I think sports really blew up like Nike and other brands too. Yeah. Like extremely, because you see all these different partnerships and sponsorships and different shoes being made by different players, and that the different leagues of like basketball and baseball and stuff like that takes a huge impact on different brands. Or just, people really have an inspiration, whether that be basketball players or whatever. It's crazy.
I think when they signed Michael Jordan, that was huge. And they gave him his own line too. I don't think anybody,
and he still has it.
Yeah. I don't think any company had done that before Nike, right? Like that was the first where not only is it just like a brand deal where they have like, okay, here's Michael Jordan's shoe and it's like the Nike logo, but it's like his own line of shoes, and like completely like it's together, but at the same time it's also separate. And once that brand took off and Michael Jordan was just cemented into greatness, like once you see somebody like that, that's literally the greatest to ever do it. And then this brand is also tied with them. You're like, all right, it's a brand that they'll definitely last for a very long time.
Jordans are still popping to this day. People like resell them and wear them. And it's crazy. The other day it was insane, because I was walking in downtown Disney. I was with my family, and I'm just walking, and I look behind me just to look for the rest of my group, and I turn around and I see this tall, tall monster. It was not a monster. It was just like crazy tall. Yeah. And I look behind me, I look up, and it's Giannis.
Giannis?
Yeah.
Really? He was at Disney?
He was at Disneyland, and he was with his wife or whatever. I guess it was her birthday. Really? It was insane. I looked behind me, and I literally looked up.
He was right there.
He was right behind me.
Was there a crowd though? Like
people weren't really bothering him. They were just taking like pictures, but like people knew it was him, and it was crazy. I didn't expect him to be in California, but I looked behind me, and I'm Giannis. I like yelled his name, and he like looked down at like, it's like, what is this kid saying? He was just trying to chill with his
family,
his wife or his girl or whatever. And I asked him for a picture too. Like I walked behind him. I was like, "Hey Giannis, like, can I get a quick picture real quick?" He's like, "No, not right now, man." But it's chill. He was definitely busy. I think it was his girl's birthday, so they probably came down for Disney. But it was insane. That's the closest I've ever been to an NBA player. I'm almost positive. I've been to a couple NBA games, but it was insane.
Him right there just walking.
I look behind me and I look up, and it's just crazy. Like when you see someone so much like on the internet or just like on TV, and you finally see them in person, it doesn't feel real. Yeah. And I had to like, I was like, is this really him? Like, is this real? And I was like, Giannis, like I yelled his name. It was crazy, bro. I have like a video, but it was, and people were like running, amazing, taking pictures and videos.
He's just a great guy too. Like,
oh yeah.
I mean,
he's a funny dude too.
Yeah. Like even though he might have not taken pictures that day, I mean, you could understand like with family and stuff.
Yeah, but I would be the same, He gets that stuff every day.
Every day.
Like that's
somebody wants a picture. Somebody wants this.
You're going to want privacy, especially when you're at Disneyland or when you're with your girl, like you're going to want some privacy. You don't want people running up to you. And that's just, it's also something you have to respect too and understand, people like that deal with stuff like that on a daily, and they have to figure out different ways to not like deal with the popularity, because they get like stressed out by it. Like some people, famous people, just like quit or go ghost mode because they can't deal with the fame or popularity or paparazzi like filming them everywhere. So
I know that would be crazy to me. Like the Kardashians, I think, have it the worst. Like literally where they're at their house. Yeah. They leave the house. They want to go to like McDonald's or something. It's crazy. They're there at McDonald's.
Any rappers like Travis Scott. Yeah. Like Kanye's crazy too, but you never really see Kanye out. When you do, he's always wearing like outrageous clothes and he's doing like the weirdest things.
But that's insane that people are paid to like literally stalk you and take pictures.
Paparazzi, that's crazy. They do a lot of that stuff for like TikTok influencers and like Instagram people. A lot of different paparazzi brands will just go around and like film different influencers because it gets them views, you know, like people click on that stuff and they want to see and hear different news of like what's going on. And people will just wait outside restaurants or wait outside houses.
It's crazy
for these teenage kids influencers. And I mean if it's your job 100%, like I respect it, but I feel like sometimes paparazzi can take it to the next level. But I mean,
some things need to remain private, right? Like, you don't, if you're at the house, like
people get pissed too. Like there's always videos of like famous people like yelling at paparazzi. Like I always would remember seeing Justin Bieber getting mad at like paparazzi, or the Kardashians just like, chill, get out of my face. It's understandable too, 'cause it's like crazy, but like
I'd
always thought like how that would be to have people constantly like wanting to take pictures. I feel like that'd be a really cool like thing, you know, and
I think it'll be cool for like an hour.
And
then you're like,
but then when you get it every day, it's like you don't, you know, you want to go back. You just want to live that like normal.
I think that's why Giannis was there. Like he just wants to fucking explore downtown Disney. Like, you know,
and he didn't even have like security with them. He doesn't need security. That fool's he's a monster. He was big, bro. Like he was really tall and
what is he, like 6'10"? I think
he's taller.
So he's up there, and he's gotten bigger over the past few years.
What do you want, back-to-back MVPs or whatever?
And then, he has the championship in what was it, 2021?
It was before COVID, right?
No, I think it was after COVID. Like 2020 was Lakers, 2021 was the Bucks. And then now the season's starting back up again. I'm excited for that.
What do you think? What are your expectations for the season? Because there were a couple different roster like moves. Like we went through like the trading season. So a couple people got moved around.
I haven't really been paying attention to like the off season and stuff, but I'm just excited.
Lakers?
Yeah, I'm a Lakers fan, but like I don't know if they'll make it that far. I mean, we'll see. Like the health conditions of everybody.
Have you seen the Scottie Pippen Jr.?
I think so. Yeah, he was in the summer league, right? He was playing in the summer league.
He should be on like the regular roster, I believe.
Yeah.
For the Lakers, I guess LeBron was fucking with them, so
you
know, if LeBron fucks with you, you gotta come on.
You gotta
just for a year, and if you fuck up, you're gone.
You're gone. And I think this is might be like one of the last few years that LeBron plays, you know, like
he's waiting for Bronny.
Waiting for him, and then hopefully he comes in, and then maybe like he might play another 1 to 2 years. I think
that's going to be retirement year, or probably after that, because his contract right now, it expires in the year that Bronny's supposed to come in the NBA.
Oh, okay.
So, you know,
wherever he goes,
exactly.
Go.
You know, LeBron has a huge influence and huge interest from every team in the league, I'm sure. So any team would take him in a heartbeat.
Anywhere he goes, the ticket sales go up, the merchandise sales go up.
Like LA blew up. I feel it was already huge. LA's been,
but now that there was, once he came, the energy was back in the Lakers. You know, like there's star power now.
Like it was kind of how like when like Kobe was here. You know, like obviously it's not the same. Rest in peace, Kobe, the GOAT. But it just, he came back. He did it for Kobe too, I'm sure. And you know, just gonna secure those rings. And
he already got one. Which is good.
Exactly. In the bubble.
In the bubble. That was you know, people say that
it wasn't like rigged. I don't get that. Like it's just people can't.
I think it was harder, right? Like it's harder to like be away from family.
You're in a hotel locked all day.
You have to eat like the food that, I mean, they have like chefs and stuff, but you can't just go to a restaurant or anything. Like you're there in that resort, like literally.
It was like
for like
Disney
2 months.
Resort.
For 2 months, it's basically a jail, but it's a nice jail. Like you get to use all the amenities.
You get treated well. I don't know if you watched this, but JaVale McGee, when he was on the Lakers, he had a YouTube channel, and he posts like vlogs of him in the bubble and just throughout like the NBA and practice. And it'd be dope to see like NBA players behind the scene and see like LeBron at practice, just like him chilling with LeBron. Like that stuff is so cool. Or just like day in the life of being at the bubble and how they would live. It was crazy, you know? So it's like, it's not like they were out there living like how they usually would. They were stuck in a hotel room by themselves, training, practice, eat, go to bed, repeat,
go to bed,
and then
like,
play
for
games
2 months, literally, like 2 or 3 months.
And if you lost, you fly back home.
And then and then you had to quarantine again, basically. Like that was a weird ass time, man.
Yeah. What do you think about the Ball family? Like Lonzo Ball, LaMelo Ball. Are you a fan of them?
I mean, I'm a fan of LaMelo. Like,
yeah. Are you not up to date with the other brothers? Like LiAngelo, Lonzo.
Lonzo, I'm a fan of. I'm not really. LiAngelo, I'm not. You know, he's not in the NBA, so I'm not really. Like looking into his. I'm not following him or anything, but. With LaMelo, he's just a fun person to watch. You know?
Oh yeah, I love how he plays.
His basketball
I've been watching
game.
LaMelo since high school, so it's been dope to see him grow from a little kid to being
now
in the NBA.
Yeah, he started or he played international for a while. Yeah, and then came to the NBA
in Lithuania,
and then also is not just like a rookie that is on the bench or anything. Like he's starting. Like he's actually. Has highlight plays.
All-star game.
Yeah, all-star game.
He's 19, right? Or 20?
He might be 20 now, yeah.
He's young, too.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be a
Rookie of the Year, too.
A big star, yeah.
Yeah. No, he is, for sure. He has crazy potential. And I feel like he really met those expectations when he came into the league, too.
Yeah.
So.
It's going to be a fun season, for sure. Like that. Yeah. I love when basketball season starts, because in the summer... You're like, there's no football, there's no like basketball, there's maybe like, some random sports on. But now that like college football is on, like now I'm finally like getting back into the sports and
Bro,
stuff.
Basketball games are a vibe too. Like I remember going to a Lakers preseason game, and it's like not the same as like regular season, but it's just like basically the same thing, different players playing. And it was just dope. Like the whole environment, seeing all the players up close, seeing them play up close. And it's just crazy how like obviously you're when you watch highlights and stuff like that, you only see the makes and the highlights and them doing good. So it's cool to see like the misses and them like reevaluating things to try and win the game. So
it's you get to see like people that are fucking amazing at their craft. Yeah, that these people put in years of work on this one game, and
it's crazy. Years every single day.
How great can you become, right? Like
their life is based off how they can, treat their body to be as best as they can, because that's their job, is to play basketball, and your body is your main performance tool when you're playing basketball or any sport. Your body is what you need, the strength, your agility, the power, like all of that stuff. So, and
I think we get kind of desensitized to like greatness when we watch the NBA. Like we tell players, or we like tweet that this guy sucks, or and when you play against them, or like you see them against like normal people. Like they're not even close to
like
the
Russell
level.
Westbrook got a lot of hate when he first came, but he really didn't do the best
compared to everybody in the NBA. But like to the majority of the population, like even recreational players, like it's not even close. Like the skill comparison is
like when insane. NBA players go to like gyms and open gyms and play like games like that. You see videos and it's like, wow, like it's crazy what they're doing. Like it's like they're playing with little kids on a 7-foot rim. Literally, it's crazy.
I know. It shows how much you can develop yourself. Like if that's possible, and I think every aspect of life, it doesn't only matter in basketball, but like in any aspect, if you can put in work towards a certain area and give your whole attention, your whole life to it, there's no telling how great you could be. Yeah. Like literally you see LeBron James,
anything's possible,
at 30, 34, 35, I don't even know. Yeah. Still one of the greatest players around. Yeah.
Wild, man.
It's insane. Yeah. Should we wrap this up?
I mean,
it's been a good conversation, man.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely, for sure.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
I appreciate you. Yeah. For sure. You're the man.
Yeah, and this was fun. Like it happened kind of sporadically. You know, like you DM me, and then I'm like, you know what, let's do it, right? And this was fun.
Yeah, 100%.
It's always a fun time, especially when I meet people that have a drive and kind of purpose to their life and that want to do something, and that's like you get inspired from them, and it's just a fun conversation.
That's like I like to surround myself around like as many people like that as possible, and that's also like why I'm building my team. I want to surround myself and trade with people each and every single morning that are like-minded and that will aspire to, you know, have those dreams and goals to be as big as possible and grow each and every single day. So, you know, I continue on planning as much as possible, growing as much as possible in all different aspects, and, you know, continuing to help out my clients, my friends, the world. Just work as hard as I can, you know, like we've been saying, just put in that work, that effort, that grind is really what matters. Discipline, you know, have that discipline each and every single day to just wake up and get those tasks done, and boom, you finish and you feel way more accomplished than you ever would if you would just sit at home and chill, play some video games. So
and make happiness a priority in your life, man. Like,
positivity.
Don't settle for things because you want like money or something. Like, you could have all the money in the world, and if you're not happy, it won't mean anything.
Yeah, there's people that make like way smaller wages than people that were to make like bigger money, and they're way more happier at making that, you know, sort of money than people that would make like a good couple grand a year. So I mean, it all depends on how you treat it too. And if you're happy, like you said, you have to be happy with what you do. Sometimes people are happy with being a waitress or, you know, working at like a library or just anywhere, you know. People find enjoyment in certain things, and that's why we have different people that have different tasks in the world that get paid differently, you know, because some people have different interests and have different values that other people don't. So that's why,
and again, like I said, all things should exist. So that's I'm glad that as a society, we understood that there's not everybody has to be a farmer, right? Like, if you want to be a farmer, you could be a farmer, but if you want to work in tech, you could work in tech, and you could do all these different things, and it's all available to you. And it's one of the greatest times to be alive, right? Like, it's a revolutionary time to be on this earth as a human being, because the opportunity is here.
Opportunities, man, are crazy. It's crazy seeing the different opportunities that everyone utilizes and takes advantage of.
And if you feel overwhelmed, like, I know we've been talking a lot about getting your shit together. Like, it might seem like a lot, but, you know, it doesn't have to change all right away. It's all, you know, with time, right? Like, nothing happens overnight, like we mentioned. Just keep at it, and eventually you'll find the thing. You're going to have the ups, you're going to have the downs. Life's long. Life's also short, but it's also long. Like, it's how you look at it, and it depending on the vision you have for yourself, you know, as long as it makes you happy, I think it'll definitely work out.
The amount of, you know, work that you put in and decide to do for what you want to do is really what reflects off your life and how your life treats you. You know, you're the only person that can change and be changed. You know, you're the only person that could benefit yourself and change your life, whether that's your mental, physical, financial, anything. You know, no one else, no like courses or just anything like that. Like, you need to take responsibility and be held accountable for anything in life, whether that's the good and the bad, and just continue to build yourself as a person and just your self-image, you know?
Exactly. And I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation as well. This was a fun one.
100%.
I know I definitely enjoyed it, and hopefully we get to do it again, you know?
Yeah, for sure. That was dope. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great week. Peace.
Yes, sir.